met the Dipper already tonight. Paul Sharkey's out on the ground. Dipper, what's going on with Collingwood?
At the moment, Bruce, there's 22 players out there, but I'm assured that Paul Sharkey won't play tonight. And with the conditions out here, it's just beautiful. A lot of people expected cold conditions, but I can certainly tell you it is quite humid, as they say. The wind is huffing and puffing at the moment, but I'm sure it's going to settle down tonight. But with me on the boundary, I'm going to have two special players. One, Matthew Francis from the Collingwood Football Club. He's not here at the moment because he's just finished a reserve game. And of course, the injured, once again injured, Nathan Bowell from the Richmond. Welcome, Nathan.
Dipper, pleasure to be here.
Now, unfortunately, you are injured once again.
Yeah, I hurt my Achilles last week in the game against Melbourne, and it didn't come up all that well during the week, and so here I am.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, you came on the ground and kicked some magnificent goals against the Eagles. Once again, Tigers, it reminds me of the night against the Eagles, a must-win.
Oh, it's a big game for us, it really is. We've been under siege the last week or so, and we're looking for a strong game, especially in the second half.
Can you just take us through the week? I mean, after last week, a poor performance against Melbourne.
Yeah, it was. The last 2 weeks at half-time we were in great spots to be. We went into half-time about 2 or 3 goals up, and we just couldn't go on with it. So tonight we need to work on that.
Well, thanks for joining us on the boundary line, and we'll catch up throughout the night.
Thanks, Dip.
Thanks, Dipper. Sandy Roberts joins us. Sandy, Savrock is starting. That's no surprise. He's out there.
You know, it's no surprise at all. Bruce, good evening to you. And we reached the halfway mark of the season, round 11, and what better way to start it. Big crowd here at the MCG, and certainly a big game.
Tigers kicking to the left of screen. Walker's 100th match. It is a big crowd and a big atmosphere here. The stakes are high. There is a huge fallout for the loser. Moncourse got flattened after he belted the ball forward. Miranda was hard at it with Russell. Broderick looking for a free kick. Handball forced on by Curran against the flow. Williams there. Onto it hard was Prescott, I think. And it's going to be a ball up inside 50. Let's have a look at the Collingwood interchange.
Bench at the moment, but the three that will play are Jason Wild, Alex McDonald and Simon Prestigiacomo.
So Sharkey was a decoy. As Dipper told us, Michael Gale squeezes it to the boundary line and finds it. Good night. We had real gloom and doom today, thinking it would be freezing cold and hailstorms and windy. But it's not too bad at all. So Gale's got a job on Williams.
There's Monkhorst, who had an interesting chat with Robert Powell prior to the opening siren starting. It was a real David and Goliath affair. It may warm up as the night goes on. Cool night, certainly at the moment, very pleasant. We'll expect it to get down to around 7 a little bit later on, maybe the odd shower. Buckley and Prescott there, some marvellous duels set up for the evening as Miranda soccers off the ground. The Tigers fans happy to have him back. And the mark taken by Daffy. Up towards centre half forward, towards Paul Bullis. Still a long way out, but he takes the mark on right half forward. Penetrating kick towards Holland, who was in fine form in the reserves last night. Campbell caught, gets the kick away in towards full forward. The free kick is going to come back, and it's going to go to the big Tiger and talented Tiger, who's going to shoot directly in front, just 10 metres out.
And Sandy Campbell showing his intentions very early. He started on a half-back flank on Richard Osborne. As soon as the Tigers could control the ball, he raced down the field, taking Osborne with him right down into the forward zone. So obviously they're trying to just stretch Osborne as much as they possibly can tonight.
Ben Holland kicked 8 in the reserves last week, so he's got the nod from the selectors, and he starts the Tigers off for the night here at the G.
Well, that's just the start the Tigers wanted. They've been talking about it all week. They've had a lot of tough training on the track, a lot of soul searching this week. Nick Daffy pushing up in front of Gavin Brown. A good kick then to space in front of Bullis, and we just checked some of the other matchups tonight. Michael Gale's picking up Williams. Brown, as I said, is on Daffy. Bullis has been picked up by Krasiska, and Richardson is being picked up by Shawbull, and in the other pocket for Richmond, Richardson is picking up Gale.
Tigers interchange, Dipper.
Yes, Jason Bourne playing his first game for a while, and Mark Chafee, an unusual one, Bruce. Chris Binder started on the bench.
Yes, one of their top taggers. So the Tigers leading. The goal to Ben Holland. Gale and Moncourse both at it. Williams and Gale at him. Well played, Benny Gale. Gets it forward to half-forward flank. Bullis there with Krasiska. He was named on the interchange along with Sav Rocker. They both started. Buckley was named at full back, but Shawbull's there. Krasiska's handball was excellent. To Williams, to Wright, to centre half forward, and he finds Anthony Rocker, who's a thumping long kick. He's probably 2 or 3 metres too far out, even if he got onto a talk. Tries the drop punt. It's going and going and going. It's a behind. Collingwood are on the board. He's kicked a goal in every match this season, Rocker. Doesn't get a whole lot. His best return is 3, but he's been pretty consistent.
Yes, one of 12 Magpies to have played every game is Scott Turner, who'll bring it back for the Tigers.
And Richmond appear to be flooding an area here, Sandy. Just be interesting to see whether or not, yes, they're going to kick the ball out this side of the ground where they have flooded the area.
Campbell, Kellaway and co. Belting it down was Chad Liddell. Scotty Russell. Now, which way will this bounce? Turner chances his arm and will head towards the line. Showing courage with that hand pass. 5 points the margin. Early days, good crowd, good night. And round 11 is underway. Monkhorst in front. Miranda tries a 360. Russell shoots towards goal, and Scotty Russell puts through a behind. Turner again coming towards Campbell, finding him this time in the back pocket. He's going to have to go back over the mark. Russell was shepherded out of it. Campbell's very keen to go on with the job. Gets the hand pass away towards Robert Powell, who had that altercation with Monkhorst. Now there's been a whistle, and it's going to go to Collingwood on centre wing, and maybe Gavin Brown who'll take it. Umpires are Rowan Saws, Mark Nash and Jamie Love. Monkhorst is ignored in the middle. Instead, the skipper goes longer towards a Rocker, who's probably 4th in line. Tap wide towards Michael Gale. Had it for a moment and then lost it. Pushed out the back door. Miranda over the top, wobbles a hand pass over the head of Bullis. He gets a bad bounce. It goes through his legs. Crows there for Collingwood on all fours. Another hand pass goes back again. Burke couldn't take it. Russell toes dash. Goes on to the left foot. And Scotty Russell has put through another behind. Peppering away now, but still down by 3 points.
Terrific crowd here. It's really built up in the last quarter of an hour. Turner, he goes short to Campbell. He's got that opportunity. He's going to go out wide as he did the last time. Burke a target, but Rocket did well. Miranda hasn't had big possessions as yet, but he's been punching the ball forward on a couple of occasions. Graham Wright keeps it in. Miranda, well played. Innovative. Prescott overran it with Buckley and then hurled Buckley up cleverly. Miranda back onto it. Can square the body and kick towards full forward. Ben Holland a target. He flies with 3 or 4 others. Nichols, little left foot, couldn't get the handball away on his own. Richardson in the goal square had they got it there. Taken now by Crow. An opportunity lost for Richmond. He's kicked to centre wing. Front spot Liddell. First match this season. He'll be hungry to make his mark. Right in front of the 7 commentary box. Waits to kick to half forward, but Gasper was alert. Anthony Rocker was sitting back a bit on his haunches. And 2 young guns here, aren't they? Gasper and Rocker together. It's Gasper to kick the ball.
He's a fine young defender, Darren Gasper. Kicks up towards Paul Bullis on centre wing, and he doesn't let him down. Tight start, the sort of start we'd expect from these 2 sides. He goes in towards half forward. Good use of the body by Richardson. He heads for goal now, and he's put through a behind. An opportunity going begging for the Tigers. Open goal was beckoning.
Yes, and he did all the hard work on this occasion. Good kick by Bullis. He's already troubling Krasiska for height. Good body work by Richardson. He took off. He does like to kick the ball on the run, and so far this year he's been extremely inaccurate. In fact, he's kicked 19 goals, 16.
Shane Watson, game number 99 for Watson. Comes towards centre wing. Russell and Miranda could do the roving work down in front. Taken away by Ben Moore. Had an excellent game in the reserves last week. He booted 5, only as far as Richardson. Gives it away to Brown. Collingwood out of trouble. The skipper, who debuted back in '87 with Gavin Krasiska, almost down to the middle. Now they have a look up towards the half-forward line. A high kick. Turner uses the body, but it's not good enough. And Big Sam, celebrating his 100th game, can do it in style if he can goal here.
Once again, Collingwood using the central part of the ground, and that was just brute strength on that occasion by Rocker. Dermot Burton's been over at Victoria Park during the week, giving the Brocker brothers a bit of advice.
37 goals and 21 behind so far this season to Severio Rocker. Up go the black and white flags. He's got his first for tonight.
Well, this bloke's been down in confidence over the last couple of weeks. Had a shocker against the Swans. In fact, he's had a shocker again against the Hawks last week and dragged off the ground. And he'll be looking tonight. He does like it here at the MCG. A chance to boost his confidence. That's a good kick. One-on-one, just getting it down to that forward zone as quickly as they possibly can for a one-on-one contest.
1-3 to 1-1. Free kick in the centre, going to Richmond. So Rocker's got a goal early, and so's Ben Holland. Well done, Prescott. It looked a difficult one, and then he floats it to full forward. Richardson sitting and waiting. In hard was the other Richardson. That's Mark. Played it well to Watson. Watson's had few possessions this year, but he hasn't missed a match. It's a good kick to Buckley at half-back. He too's been just down in the last couple of weeks after a sensational start to the season. He was the hottest of hot favourites for the Brownlow after half a dozen matches. Now Paul Salmon is challenging him for that position. Williams in the front spot, went through his fingers. Gasper. Well done. Good balance. But the kick not so good, and Watson's going to take it. It'll give away to Buckley. Buckley normally a good kick. That's a beauty to the big monkey. Didn't quite make it though. Gale's got a chance. They can make them pay here. Gale straightens up, goes hard towards full forward, hasn't got the strength. And Brown, who was rejuvenated in 1997, pushes the ball wide and finds Crow.
Scott Crow on the half-back flank. Powell on the mark. He goes short, made it very difficult for Russell. Curran now, Russell a fine tackle, but there's been a whistle. He'll come back a high tackle. Will go the way of Chris Curran. On he goes to centre wing. Kellaway always shows courage. He backed into that one. Floats a high kick back towards the 50 for the Tigers. Big guns are there, and it's Holland who marks. Plays on now. Wants Richardson coming out the half forward. Couldn't take it cleanly. The race is on. Burke, if it sets, he's in business. Can't get clear of Osborne. Could have almost been a leg. Aussie plays on. Gets a high ball back towards half-back. Doesn't travel a great distance. Graham Wright belts it down. Not very far. Nichols gives a hand pass away. From a standing start, they go in towards full forward. Richardson caught at the back. Which way's it going to bounce? Bullis is there as well. Tries to soccer it through. And in the end, a try is scored by Collingwood through Shane Watson.
And the Tigers have made a change. They've taken Campbell off Osborne. Osborne walked Campbell back to the 10-metre square. That's exactly where Richmond don't want Campbell. They want him out on the half-back flank, and Campbell's now picking up James. Burke, as we see there on screen a moment ago, running Osborne once again down into the forward line from Richmond.
Watson was a touchdown a moment ago, wasn't it?
Oops.
Broderick, well done on Russell. Benny Moore from the pocket. And scores a level at the MCG. It's related to Kim Hodgman, isn't he, Ben Moore? Kim Hodgman, Sandy and I saw a lot of at Glenelg in the early days, and then came across to North Melbourne.
He really missed the kick on that occasion because Trent Nichols had faded down towards the goals. He's about 20 metres out from the top of the square. Buckley,
good kick to the birthday boy, Graham Wright. How old is he today, Sandy?
Today, Graham Wright has turned 29.
I knew you'd have that. He's at half-back. He's been a resilient footballer, hasn't he, with a lot of illnesses, and he's been able to keep going. He's kicked high to centre wing, not particularly good. Big fly came from Bullis, but Richmond were there with Gasper, and it's going to be a bounce.
The Tigers would have been happy with that bit of work. They forced Collingwood just to kick the ball high. Collingwood do like to get a lot of run off that half-back line.
Still on centre wing. They'll look towards the line. Broderick shrugs one, gives a little ground towards Gasper. Sneaks around Curran, kicks up towards half forward. Gavin Brown, well, he's playing like a State of Origin captain at the moment, doing everything right. Goes across the ground for Mark Richardson. Collingwood go into attack again. In towards centre half forward. Here comes Rocker. Couldn't take it. Burke feels the heat in the kitchen. Sockers it wide. So too does Michael Gale. And now Campbell gets it back to Gale. He's on half back. Wide towards the centre wing. Too wide. And out of bounds on the full. Collingwood again. Bring it back into play.
And Sandy, what a lot of clubs have done playing against Collingwood this year is they've actually dragged Gavin Brown right back to the goal line, and if he continues to take marks across that half-back line, Nick Daffy may be advised to do that.
Rocker was a sensational fly, but he couldn't complete the mark, and Burke's kick goes over. No doubt Big Sav's pumped tonight. And speaking of big men, time to welcome, fresh from the showers, Matty Francis. Matt, welcome to you, and thanks for joining us.
That's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Good to see a couple of old teammates sitting down there together, and hope you have an enjoyable game. One will be happy anyway at the end of the night. Here's the good doctor, Watson. Into half forward once again. Gasper will have to try and spoil from behind. It can't do so. It spills free. Anthony Rocker sockers off the ground. Down towards his brother. He needs it to sit, this Big Sav. It won't. And good work by Duncan Kellaway. They should get out of trouble. Here's Turner.
Interesting there with Turner to Burke. Didn't use the left hand, but it was okay in the end. Gasper's kick's a beauty. To Nichols. To half forward. Bullis, lively start. Belts the handball. Back to centre wing to Prescott. Has to set something up. He hasn't got a lot of options. He's got to go long. Interesting kick, good kick, actually, a beauty. He weighted it perfectly for Ben Holland and gave him something to run into. The big hook worked there, didn't it? Tim, you reckon this kid could have been inspired by what his brother did last week? I just wondered about it. I mean, Nick took the game by the scruff of its neck. He missed out, Ben, played in the reserves. I know they're at a different club. Kicked 8 in the reserves, and tonight he started well, hasn't he?
A terrific pair of hands, this young fella.
Missed. Well, Nick Holland said during the week that Peter Hudson's been a big plus for him. So does Simon Minton-Connell in terms of kicking for goal. But Richmond have had some chances. Richardson missed a gimme. That one was no gimme, but you'd get 7 out of 10.
They've got to nail them. You really have to nail those goals because it saps the confidence of the players upfield.
Under 9 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Williams this time goes to Buckley on half-back. Started in ominous fashion, picking up 4 or 5 early possessions, Nathan Buckley. Bruce said looking to get back into top form. Kick just going a little too far. Crow recovers on towards Williams. That was his target, but taken away by Michael Gale. Could have almost been held. Now Powell. First one way, then the other. A stammering hand pass eventually finds Campbell. He gives a little ground. Goes to Bullis, who kicks it high. It's a standing start, but a fine mark taken by the flying Buckley. Off he goes. Back towards centre half forward. Anthony Rocker was beaten. Wayne Campbell picks it up. Belts it round his body, but Paul Williams drops back. Gets a hand to it. Can't complete the mark. This is pressure football as Buckley goes storming through again. Now Nichols a chance. He's closing in on the goals. He's 50 metres out. He's 40. He's run a long way. He gives the hand pass away. The youngster should go, and he does. Benny Moore kicks his first.
I often talk about the fact that awareness is everything in this game, but if we have another look at this play, the way that it was set up, just watch the interception here by Broderick. He comes across in a moment, just gets his hand to the ball, read that play beautifully, and then Nichols, all he really had to do here was keep his head, managed to do that, had plenty of support. Perhaps ran a little bit too far.
Tigers going well here, 2-4-1-3. Collingwood has led in 7 of its 10 matches in the opening quarter this year. They've had some spectacular starts, but the Tigers 7 points in front. Still a way to go. Ben Moorby, please. There's another kick. He's just kicked the goal a moment ago. Prescott's been important. Almost loses his strides. Daffy, that's his trademark. Very quick kick, didn't go far. Watson, well weighted beautifully to Richardson at half back. Richardson's kick wants Moncourse. Gale had the fly on him. Osborne probably should have taken it. Burke's got it. takes his man on. Curran's tackle was reasonable. Daffy tries to half volley. With him is Brown. He threw it away, Daffy, but he was on the blind side of the umpire. Campbell, well done to Gale, to Miranda. It's exciting stuff. Miranda, 2 bounces. He'll try and take his man on. He's too good for Crow. 45 metres out, floating ball. Richardson's high fly, front spot, Shawble. Didn't go with it. Holland throws it out. Nichols can't get it. Pushed forward by Prestigiacomo. Miranda a chance again. Collingwood being held up. Osborne's got it at half-back and steadies.
With a kick towards centre wing. Campbell shields his eyes from the light. Monkhorst is beaten in front by Brendan Gale. Swings it in towards the middle and Burke. Built like a piece of 8-gauge wire, but very, very effective. The long kick is by Harrison. Down towards the forward line once more. Michael Gale will read the crumbs. Osborne's leaving the ground. McDonald's taking his place for Collingwood. Gale from right half forward. Centering kick towards Bullis. Couldn't take it. Belted clear once again. Gee, this Collingwood defence is being well and truly tested at the moment as Watson comes across the ground. McDonald's just come on. He almost clashes with the big monkey. Eventually the plumber looks for the hand pass. Gives it to McDonald. With no great confidence. He goes back again. The kick this time is by Curran towards half forward. Kellaway running back with the flight. Loses it to his teammate in Gasper. Across to Burke. He's on centre wing. Round the body. Monkhorst again forced to spoil Gale. Does it this time. Broderick picks it up. The little left footer bounces away. He's 65 metres out. Floating punt kicking towards full forward. Not a good delivery. Clean bowls them all. And through for behind.
The Tigers doing very well in the defensive area. The pressure they're applying to Collingwood is just not allowing them to flow with the play. Let's go down to Dipper.
Yes, Tim, you can hear by the call of the players, both sides are prepared to carry the ball and just to try and break the line. So when the player gets the ball, the teammates are shouting, take 5, take 10.
Buckley. He's been asked to kick it, and he does. It's a beautiful long kick. Heart of the centre square. Monkhorst used the body well on Holland. Couldn't take the mark. More little toe poke. Okay. Nichols caught and a bounce. Gee, hasn't the umpiring changed in the last fortnight? For the better, I reckon.
There's no doubt about that, Bruce. They're allowing players to have a bit more time with the ball when they are caught. As we see Anthony Rocker coming off the ground.
Holland, good tap. Prescott push forward. Gives Nichols a chance. He's a great finisher. Kicked 5 last week and threads the needle. They're going well. There's some good signs here. It's early days, but Richmond has come out to really play. 3-5 to 1-3.
There's a lot of spirit and hardness about this Tigers performance early in this early part of the game. As we see Tony Shaw make another change. He's taken Anthony Rock off the ground and he's brought Patterson back onto the ground to play on Gasper. Richmond have made the change in their own forward, in their own back line.
Donald and Burke having a little bit of an altercation as we go back to the centre down on the boundary line. Mark Doran. Mark.
Yeah, the Tigers look pretty contented at this stage. They haven't made any moves and they've managed to get a good matchup. Nichols is on Shane Watson and he's just showing him up for pace down here.
Brown's hand pass is going to start proceedings here for Collingwood. What a lovely take by Buckley. In towards full forward. They need a mark. There's no mark as far as the black and white's concerned. An excellent mark by Scotty Turner. To Prescott. From the back pocket, almost down to half-back and Michael Gale. Back inside again. If it sits for Prescott, it'll be okay. Almost down to the middle. The Tigers looking full of run. Their confidence growing all the time. Up towards 50. Where are the small runners? Waiting in front is Gavin Brown again. He defends to Richardson. Stops and then just steadies with a short pass to Curran, who should get on with it. He's got McDonald down one flank but elects to go towards the other. Up towards the middle of the ground. Or Kellaway again. That's the 3rd time he's backed into the pack. Couldn't take the mark but gets, look at that, words of encouragement. Pats on the back from his teammates. They know what he did. There's Anthony Rocco, Gavin Crosisco, like Gavin Brown, the 2 most senior players, both debuting in 87 for Collingwood. Monkhorst. Turner took a punt and socked it off the ground. It worked. Back towards the middle. Oh, what a steal. Look at the pace. Catch me, says Powell, and they can't. He goes down towards half forward. Here's an opportunity now. Richardson, 46 metres out. A high floating kick. Won't make the distance. In towards full forward. Where are the Crummers? Richardson is there. Tries to hold out an opponent. Does so. Crowe gets caught. Gives the hand pass away. The Crowe ball goes up. But Watson goes on with the job. Out towards Patterson. He's just come onto the ground. Here's the duck. Nick Daffy. The Mount Gambier kid goes to full forward. They need a mark. They haven't. And it's kept in play. And I reckon he just looked up. Took his eye off the ball for that split second. The end result of behind.
I think he may have been a little bit surprised that the ball actually stopped. He looked up, lost the moment, and the ball dribbling off his shin through for a point, and that's an opportunity going begging.
Buckley short to Brown. Started well on Daffy. It's been an interesting duel early. Brown wide. Crowe, that's a good mark. At centre wing, Ben Holland was bearing down on him. Comes in board, Crowe. Kicks the ball to centre half forward. James never really got into the hunt. He's been slow early. Campbell and Wild. Off the ground, McDonald, good play to force forward. Turner. Now, will he concede something here? He's shuffling, taking his time. They're onto him. Collingwood demanding a free. They're taking the ball. And Liddell's got the free kick. Now look at Turner. Liddell quickly on, and I think his misses are behind. I'm sure the strictness of the umpires, and maybe even the inconsistency, Tim, forced Turner not to go to the boundary line there, because you're just not sure whether they're going to ping you or not. And he almost froze in the end, didn't he?
Yes, no, I thought that was a correct decision in the end too.
1-4-3-6, good stretch by Burke, who's got it and plays it on.
Gives it away to Campbell. Looks down towards centre wing. Oh! Unsided, but standing his ground, Ben Harrison. Goes on quickly, Prescott. Harrison lopes past, but he's ignored. Instead, it's to half forward. Richardson gave a push. That was noticed on Bullis. Now, danger here for Collingwood, because Paul Bullis will look down towards Richardson, Holland, and then the Crummers waiting to do the damage.
There's got to be more movement. One of those taller players down there has to move right out just to allow Richardson to be one-on-one with his opponent.
So they're not doing it at the moment, so Bullis goes relatively short into the hole. Watson had front spot. He was unable to take it cleanly. Don't tell me Turner. Scotty Turner, the fullback. Oh, he's kicked a goal! No, he hasn't. He's kicked it down behind. Well, they went up as one, Tim.
I was with you, Sandy. I was with you.
Oh, and look at it's done to the crowd. She's distressed. That could bring a tear to Brucey's eye. We better be careful.
Looked home, didn't it? Every bit of goal, but it would have brought the house down.
He started the long walk back, by the way, to the other end of the ground. Dipper, you're down there.
What's the feeling like, Dip?
Oh, it's fantastic, Bruce. It's 70,000 plus at the moment. The stand at the Ponsford end is just starting to fill up once again.
Watson, bad kick, and Burke was able to chop it off. It's a good player, this kid. Lost his way a bit last year. Kick into the centre, wanted Powell. Hard at it was, that's bad footy by the Tigers. Patterson caught one, and they'll play the advantage. Will they? No, it's going to come back now.
They should have played the advantage on that occasion. That's a mistake. But the mistake then was made by Burke. That kick inboard to a Tiger teammate who was just under too much pressure.
Yeah, you give a guy a rap, but it was just had too much on it. Patterson's kick, rock on the target. Turner went to ground, free kick, going to Turner. It looked a hip and shoulder. Rocker unhappy. He did kick 10, Sav, the last time Collingwood beat Richmond. It's been a while ago. They may need another big score tonight if they're to win. Turner's kick to centre wing. Bullis and Richardson. Brown, Captain Courageous. It's been a big quarter for the Tigers. Listen to the crowd giving an opinion on all sorts of things, including the umpire, I'm sure. 1-4 to 3-7 as Jeff Geeshan and Robert Walls come down. Saw Tony Free in the background. And Tim, Collingwood went into the match as favourites. It's all square now, I reckon, after that first quarter.
There's no doubt about that. Richmond probably should have another couple of goal lead at quarter time. They've had the opportunities in their forward line, and unlike last weekend, they've come to play this week, the Tigers. They've been tenacious in the first quarter, and Tony Shaw is going to have to, he's sprung a lot of moves already in this first quarter, but he's still going to have to come up with a winning formula for these next 3 quarters of football.
So quarter time, it's Collingwood 1-4-10, Richmond 3-7, 25.
2 mates there on the screen. Paul Williams has just had 1 handball in the first quarter. He's been picked up by Michael Gale.
Start of the second term, Friday night football, 1-4 to 3-7. Moncourse wins the tap. Benny Gale's been good. He got a little left-footed to it. Here's Broderick, who was mentioned by our men on the boundary a moment ago. Patterson, a handball by Powell. Little kick by Prescott, didn't go very far. Collingwood with a chance. Free kick, they're going to Richmond or to Brown, is it? There's some confusion here. I think it's Daffy's ball, and he was prepared to stand the mark on Brown, so that's a bonus for the half-forward flanker. The good long kick to Richardson. Yes, Siri. It's a good kick, and he's a wonderful athlete. Needs to kick this, Tim. This is the important one for the night for him.
There's no doubt that his confidence is a little bit shattered too. On the couple of occasions he has taken the ball inside the 50-metre zone, he's played on very quickly. So obviously he does get a little bit jittery when he has a set shot.
There's a good shot at the angle from behind. We'll follow it through. Can Richardson stretch this lead? He can. Well, it's early days, but we were talking off air at quarter time, and Sandy, you get a feeling, and the feeling is that the Tigers are going to be there at the finish tonight.
11 shots to 5, but as you say, still early. A great start though in the second quarter, Tim.
There's no doubt, Sandy. They've come to play tonight. They were very insipid. They were very soft last weekend against Melbourne. They've had that drummed into them all week. Now on this occasion we see a free kick over the shoulder there, but they just got the ball into their forward line quickly, and that's what their forwards want, one-on-one contests.
The margin is now out to 21 points. Fine mark from Richardson as we go back to the middle once again. Got a charge through was Powell. His hand pass goes astray. Put Gasper under the hammer. He lost it to Buckley. Nathan Buckley round the body. Collingwood desperately need a mark and goal. They've got to stay in this game. But a fine mark taken by Wayne Campbell. Goes to the outer side and Michael Gale. He's on half-back. Richmond getting the early goal in the second quarter. Goes up over centre wing. There's a big pack of players. All tried to pounce on it. He kicked the goal, the young boy from the middle. Stop go at the bottom. And he has the ball. Schäuble. Scrag. Loses it. Holland may get a second attempt. He tries to slap it out. Does so. Drive ball again goes up. This time the advantage is going to be paid to Gavin Brown. He plays on a stuttery old hand pass out of defence. Schäuble's okay to Williams. Williams plays on. He's got to get firing into this game. Lovely hand pass to Watson. The good doctor's pass is good to Rocker. He's a mile from home. Will he let one go? He's a long, long way out. But he goes back. And it's a booming drop punt. What a kick by Savina! Goal number 2 to Rocker. And if that doesn't lift them, nothing will, Tim.
Sensational kick outside 50, hit the fence on the full-back kick. And terrific handball then from Williams to the running Watson in the centre of the ground, and a good pass to Rocker. And it was just interesting the way the Tigers are playing the Collingwood forwards tonight. They're really running hard every time Richmond gain possession of the ball, taking the players right down the ground.
2, 4, 5, 7. What did the coaches say at quarter time, Mark?
Well, Bruce, Tony Shaw will be very happy with that goal. That's exactly what he wanted. The huddle was very quiet at quarter time until Tony let fly. He said from half-back they've got to send the ball forward to their forwards' advantage, just like they did then and just like they're doing now. And for Richmond, Robert Walls just wanted them to be hard at it, but they're going to be hard up to stop Rocker in this form.
So Rocker, after Williams again involved,
mean, modern football is just about which side can win the most midfield breaks. On this occasion, a magnificent kick by Williams. Just watch the way he just half kicks it. He sits it up in the air and allows Rocker to run onto the ball. Turner expecting a big kick to the goals.
It's his 350th goal in league footy. He's got it. 3 to Rocker. Gee, that brings a smile to a statistician's heart. 100th game, 350 goals. You can work that out, Tim. How many's the average a game?
What about 3.5?
You've got it. 3.5. Gee, they're back.
There's no doubt about it. Richmond have come to play tonight, and so has that man on our screen, Severo Rocker. I spoke to him earlier during the week. He said he was disappointed by the fact that Tony Shaw has been taking him on off the ground. And I'm sure if he can continue his form that he's shown already in the second quarter, he'll be out there all night.
9 points is now the margin. And we've got a game here as Gale wins it out of the centre. Patterson kicks it high. Williams is starting to get into this game. If it sits, he's in business. It doesn't, and he's not. Should get out of it, though. Curran round the body. Towards right half forward. Williams again. He shrugs the tackle. He is getting into this game. He wants some area. Almost had him. Pushes it down in front. Nice little poke's okay. Rocker goes in again. A vice-like tackle sends the ball to the ground. And it's locked up there between full forward and half forward for Collingwood.
And Sandy, after holding him very well in the first quarter, Michael Gale is just giving Paul Williams far too much latitude in this second quarter.
What a crucial moment now for Richmond. Collingwood looking for their third in almost as many minutes. Pushed towards the boundary line. Anthony Rocker. With him Gasper. And it's over.
And you just begin to get the feeling that the momentum has shifted, don't you? Richmond are really going to have to work hard to switch it back.
Talked to Tony Shaw tonight. We asked what stage will Sav come off the bench. This is what he had to say.
Well, as soon as I think he's necessary. That's when I think whenever it suits the occasion.
Well, he started tonight, so it was necessary before the game, obviously. Russell, good mark.
Magnificent bit of play there by Damien Monkhorst to set that goal opportunity up from the boundary line throw-in.
Russell from point-blank range kicks the goal.
Well, Collingwood have stormed back into this game. What's his tap? Beautiful tap there by Monkhorst. Right, knowing exactly where the ball's going. Not getting enough on that kick for a goal, but Russell just pushing back. And Miranda, who's his direct opponent, will have to tighten up on him too. It's time now for the Tigers just to work their way back into this game.
Collingwood on a roll here at the MCG on Friday Night Football. The chant of Collingwood has gone up. Richmond are stunned. They are shell-shocked as Gale pumps a high ball towards the 50. They need a mark. They don't get it. Gavin Brown defends. He twists. He turns into trouble. Loses the football. But look, he pounces and he goes again. Richardson wide to Russell. Russell gets the hand pass away. Watson wobbles one towards centre wing. He wants Patterson. He's going to be under the pump. Close to the boundary line. He's gone out on the full, has he? Yes. Ben Harrison to bring it back in on centre wing. Pulls it in towards right half forward. Good kick, and he finds Richardson. Still a long way out. He plays on. It's a long kick into full forward. They're all up. But there's been a whistle. It's going to come back.
I think it's going to be boundary throw-in.
He played on.
Played on and went over the line.
Went over the line, Sandy.
Well, so it comes all the way back to half back.
And Shawball just letting him know how unintelligent that bit of play probably was.
So an opportunity maybe going begging. We'll wait and see from the throw-in. Buckley again, just paddling it very cleverly to his own advantage. Does that so well. Back towards Monkhorst. Almost bounces off his head, but he gets another go at it. Needs someone going past. Has got Severio to Paul Williams. Williams is in the middle of the MCG. A lightning hand pass to Curran is good. He chips towards centre half forward. The mark wasn't taken by Jason Wild. Push. He's going to get a free kick.
result of a set play from Collingwood. They all went forward except Jason Wild to flood the Richmond forward line and then run it back, and Wild was the direct target. He almost built the mark. He's got the free kick, but unfortunately it doesn't look like he's converted.
No, he's missed to the left. One behind.
And the Tigers just starting to look a little bit ragged. The Collingwood midfielders starting to get plenty of the ball. They're really going to have to tighten up and continue to run both ways.
Short to Harrison. 4-7 to 4-5. Michael Gale presents himself at centre half back. Comes wide to his brother and finds him. Brendan Gale. Not a whole lot of targets. That's a dangerous kick and a pretty bad one, actually. To go inboard and not have an absolute certain target was a low percentage. And Buckley's got it. And look at him thump the ball to full forward with a beautiful kick. Anthony Rocker clever. Tackle by Liddell was good. It's going to be a bounce. Smart player, Anthony Rocker. Couldn't mark, just brought the ball down with the left hand.
There's some worrying signs now for the Tigers. See Mark Miranda there on the bench.
He was good early, wasn't he?
Oh.
Turner. It's his second point tonight, Sandy.
And there was nothing he could do. He had two in the black and white right on his hammer. That just shows the way the game has changed, Tim.
4-6, 4-7. Nice and short. Campbell in the back pocket.
Now a look of concern on Campbell. The confidence that was there earlier on appears to have disappeared for the moment. Chesty Bond goes right across the face of goal to Turner. They've gone nowhere at the moment. Bond makes ground. He could also make some problems. He's going to make major problems, maybe. Patterson sits his away. He scoops it up. He bends around 60 out and passes superbly in the half forward. Chris Curran marks in front of Moore. Still a long way out. Anthony Rocker comes out. He's got a player at the back. No one able to take it. Anthony Rocker comes in again for a second go over the top as Richard Osborne. And the fans of this great game look on, watching a thriller. Still at half forward. A chance for Moore to clear for Richmond. A couple of bounces. Look out, he just about ran into his own teammate. Now he goes back and he gives it away to Harrison, who looks up towards centre half forward. Richardson gave a nudge underneath it, went unnoticed. Richardson looks to recover. Powell's got pace, he's quick. Outside 50. He's got to be quick. He's in two minds. Goes to Prescott. 70 metres out. Now goes the short distance home. Long towards Richardson. Just giving him some room and making a point. Umpire Jamie Love concentrating on Richardson.
He's not confident with these set shots, is he?
Well, he plays on now. I think it's okay. Richardson gets his second for the quarter.
And pace in AFL football is a wonderful attribute. Robbie Powell really stole the ball out here on the flank from Richardson, who really was in the best position to get it. Watch Powell, gathers him. He's a clever player. Held on to the ball, just bought a little bit of time, bit of space, and then Prescott, who doesn't mind taking an opponent on, just kicking long to the goal square, and Shawbull losing Richardson.
Nichols and Crowe. Crowe going to ground a moment ago. Richardson with a couple of goals in this second term. Prescott was good there, and so was Powell. Moncourse off the ground. What do you reckon, Nathan? You feel like Richmond have withstood that challenge and can come back strongly now?
Oh yeah, I mean Collingwood did start well. They're a very fast side, and we just got to make sure that we stay with them through the midfield because they can really cut sides up.
Some guts shown there from both sides. Back to Broderick. Quiet second term after a terrific start. Good looking kick. But Crow's got the courage to come across. He's got a nick over that left eye. Kicking ball to Russell. Russell's away. Transfers play brilliantly. A wonderful build up to Williams. Williams delivers to Rocker. Can't mark. Could kick a goal though. Handball inboard. Liddell held onto it a bit long. Taken by Campbell. Campbell away. Kick to Harrison. And the taller opponent against Patterson. So a couple of signs for Richmond good in the last moment or two. Aren't we fickle? We go from one team to the other up here. As Harrison kicks the ball into centre half forward. Bullis trying to get hold of it. Ben Holland could have handballed to Powell. Kicks to full forward. It wasn't a good option. And the mark to Prestigiacamo, who's in front.
Just get the feeling it's gone up a notch or two, I think, in the last couple of minutes. It's probably why, Bruce. Number of players coming into the game like Williams. Burke fists clear, but it's not clear. Anthony Rocker got a bad bounce. For a moment I thought he was heading towards goal. Michael Gale gets the hand pass back to Burke. Richmond should get out of trouble. Harrison's almost down towards the middle. His little chip pass is okay for Prescott. Got a bit of time, a bit of space. Goes down towards the master at full forward, and he takes it. Richardson, the vice-like grip to kick his third for the quarter. And really steady Richmond after Collingwood came out all guns blazing early on in the second.
Gee, Tim, Prescott knows how to find Richardson, doesn't he?
He certainly does, and Buckley's going to have to pick him up on the way back too, because he's doing a lot of damage for the Tigers at the moment. Prescott, Buckley's getting his fair share of kicks as well.
This for number 3 for the quarter. Starts at the left, goes even further. No mark, and belted through from behind. Again, down to the boundary, Mark Doran.
Yes, it's a bit of a new look forward line for Collingwood. Krasiska's come on and he's trying to drag Wayne Campbell back to the back pocket, and Richard Osborne's on now at the moment. He's playing second fiddle to Anthony Rocker.
So the huddle as Watson to bring it in. 4-6 to 5-8. To halfback. Meeting the sandwich was Buckley. Had to sit under it, Curran. Tackle by Daffy was good. It was legitimate and fair, and it'll be another bounce. I wonder if Richmond can revisit the spirit of 1995. Their fans hope so. Carried them to so many victories. Emotion. They haven't been able to duplicate it under Robert Walls in a season and a half, but they need it tonight. Holland. It was a throw, was it? The free kick going to Buckley at half-back. As Tim said a moment ago, he's getting plenty of the footy, but Prescott's also cutting up Collingwood when he gets it. The kick to centre wing. Anthony Rocker was high. Then he's out after it, but a couple of Richmond players there. Gaspar. Richmond again. Well done, Broderick. Broderick to Harrison. Harrison gets it wide. Prescott. Buckley. Good duel this. Prescott. Mark Pay plays on quickly.
From centre wing. Down towards the 50. Big pack of players. Powell was one of the targets. Nichols is there also. Through his legs. He gets another chance. He's beautifully tackled. A cry of ball again goes up. Powell in towards full forward. Courage by Brown. No one on the mark, so Gavin Brown's away. To Patterson. This game has now really tightened up.
Prestigiacamo's gone on to Richardson, and Shawball's now picking up Bullis.
Russell goes to Shawball on the outer side. He's down towards centre wing. Collingwood now have got it inside 50. Burke, they can just about raffle this, the Tiger boys. That wasn't good. Holland by Collingwood. Holland eventually took it. His kick's a little disappointing. Tigers have the numbers. They should get out of trouble. They will. Bond shows them the footy and then scoots away. Up towards Bullis. Look at this. Similar spot as he kicked it just 2 minutes ago. This time though he's called to play on. Gets spragged. Bond's followed it down. Goes round his body. In towards the pocket. Richardson may get another chance. It's taken rushed over the line.
That's where turnovers in this game now are so critical. Everybody's offside and out of position as we see Gavin Krasiska coming off the ground and McDonald coming back on.
From the throw-in, taken by Powell. Left footer is bent round in towards full forward, and only as far as Richardson. Collingwood through Brown will get out of trouble again. He finds Watson on half-back. Shane Watson closes in him, spears it into Buckley. Buckley, normally beautifully from the boot, looks towards Rocker. Can't pick it up on the half volley. Recovers, shrugs one tackle, gets leg, plays on, goes towards McDonald, who's just come on. Richmond through Callaway, defend. Powell has got to beat a couple. Used the body magnificently, couldn't take the mark. Right, loose into Moore. Moore across to Campbell. Campbell gives it away. Back to Powell. The Tigers are away.
Great football, Powers. Long bomb to full forward. Richardson will fly. Ball at the back and Shaw will get a handle on it. No, Collingwood have got it though. Richardson kept his cool. Good kick, one end to the other. It's stirring stuff here as Russell runs his full distance and then pops it down Osborne's throat. 80 metres from goal. Rocker leads now. Osborne kicks it to him but doesn't make it. Holland chips in. This Richmond defence has been terrific. Dipper, an injury down there?
Yeah, Chris Bond's still on the ground, Bruce. He's calling for the doc. He wants to come off the ground. He's on Jason Wild at the moment, so he's limping. So let's keep an eye on that one.
Well, you know, if he wants to come off, he's seriously hurt because he's one of the gutsiest players around. Gasper gets it from Campbell, back to Campbell. They fiddled a bit, had no one to kick it to, and he went to the boundary line. Can he get there? Oh, David Campese or Matthew Burke would have been thrilled with that. Here's Miranda getting ready to come back on, maybe for Bond, as Dipper said. It's a good game of footy. It's 5-8 to 4-6 at the G.
And a crucial 4.5 minutes of this game now. Michael Gale gets a hurried kick that again heads towards the boundary line. Scotty Crowe and Ashley Prescott see it over as Mick Daffy. Also looks to have problems. Collingwood making a change too, so a double change coming up here at the moment with 4.5 to go. Chris Bond and Jason Wild go back to the action, and McDonald, a floating kick towards Anthony Rocker. He's beat, pushed down towards Campbell, gets the hand pass away to Bond. He runs into Williams. Going to come back.
And Collingwood playing without a recognised ruckman on the ground at the moment. Long course has gone off, and what they're trying to do is they're just trying to stretch the running department of the Richmond team.
I think the running department on both sides has been tested in the last few minutes. There's been nothing held back as Buckley marks on centre wing. 10 kicks and 6 marks. Again towards Anthony Rocker, playing in front, pushing down in front. There's the Richmond wall with Wayne Campbell, one of those defending. Coming in quickly is Rowan Sauls, the 42-year-old veteran umpire who's officiated in 4 grand finals. Campbell picks himself up. There's the big monkey, Gavin Krasiska, some experience on that Collingwood bench. All of a sudden, scoring has become very difficult. Holland wearing 16, Rocker 23. Bit of aerial work. No one victorious as Russell is taken off the ball by Campbell, who gets a quick kick back towards the centre. Who's going to get the break? Maybe it'll be the Collingwood skipper, Gavin Brown. Round his body, inside 50. Scenario Rocker was the flyer. Couldn't take it cleanly. Tumbled punt in towards full forward. Which way will it bounce? Okay for Gaspar. Gives it away. The Richmond defence now standing strong. This is Richardson, a long way from home.
Tries to draw the man. He's in trouble. Kellaway had to just drop it. Liddell's got him. Richardson's caused the problem here. Can he get back and put the tackle on Williams? He can't. McDonald to Mark Richardson to Osborne. Certain goal. He's off Aussie and drills it home. Matthew Richardson, hang your head for a moment. That's done. 5-8 to 5-6. Well, he's going to hang his head on the boundary line, Tim.
Yes, he's been taken off the ground. Richardson, his direct opponent from Collingwood, dragged him right up the ground when Collingwood gained control of the ball. That's why he was up there on the half-back flank, but just lacking a little bit of feel to what was going on around him on that occasion, and the turnover costly.
So Richardson pays for his sins on the bench. Collingwood moved within 2 points. What a big second quarter by both sides this has been. Curran gives it to Graham Wright. Celebrate your birthday, righty, in towards Patterson. Unable to take it cleanly, but pressured all the way. And look at that. Chesty bomb with Patterson.
And And Shawbull taking that centre bounce. He's now gone back onto the half-back flank and changed with Buckley. So really Buckley's opponent on the ball at the moment is Ben Holland.
Tigers have lost 5 of the last 6. They've got to stop the rot tonight. Collingwood have lost the last 2. Maybe their season 2 hinges on this game. Wright's in the thick of things. So too is Powell. Gets a short kick. A chance for Berger on the outer side. Towards centre wing. No mark taken. Collingwood appeared to have the numbers initially. Good work by Moore. Had to beat a couple. And look at Gavin Brown. He's tagged from pillar to post. And he's ripped to the ground, but he's still going.
Sandy, there's a Collingwood player down.
Shane Watson at his Tim.
And he appears to be in quite a deal of trouble there, writhing in pain on the ground. 2 trainers sprinted straight out to him.
Shane Watson it is, so he's in a bit of strife.
They're going to have to stop this play then because it's only 10 metres and they're calling for the stretcher.
I didn't see what happened. I don't know whether we picked it up on that replay or not. See Miranda.
So we'll have a look at a replay here. There's Watson and Ben Moore. It looks like he might have just run into Moore's elbow or something.
Yeah.
So Shane Watson, the stretcher out. It's going to be a fair hold up and play here late in the first half. It's been pretty good tonight. A lot of touches. 10 kicks down. Matthew Richardson quickly back on the ground. Mark Durham.
And here while that's going on, Richo's run back on, and up the other end, Scotty Turner has run from fullback to the forward line for the Tigers, leaving Wayne Campbell down here to pick up Sav Rocker. So they're trying to pinch a goal, the Tigers, but it could in fact cost them.
Just the crunch again as we saw the replay with Moore and Watson. There's Campbell, Turner, so they're swapping again now. So this is rotten luck for Shane Watson. He's copped a couple of injuries like this over the years, hasn't he?
Yes, he's been in the wrong spot at the wrong time a couple of times. And once you do get knocked out, it tends not to take such a heavy blow the next time round to knock you out again.
So here the incident again with Ben Moore and Shane Watson. Gee, let's hope this young player's okay. Watson, so young, he's played a lot of footy at 23 years of age, 99 games, but
he's been a good player for Collingwood tonight too. Bruce, he's had 10 kicks and 2 handballs, so he's had plenty of the ball for the Pies tonight.
Doesn't look good for the kid for the moment, but we will monitor that, that's for sure. So we've got our fingers crossed here as they're going down the race now with a minute remaining in the first half. And Collingwood trailing by 2 points, 5-6 to 5-8.
So we resume again on centre wing. Hurried kick under pressure by Wild. Gather little distance. Holland also suffering the same problem. Wild going in again like there's no tomorrow. Roderick, Holland and co also there. Another bounce as we count down to half time. Just 10 goals so far scored for the half. Buckley and Holland won by the former. Gale gets a bad bounce. Moore gives it back to Michael Gale, however. Richmond have got time to score here. In towards the left forward pocket area. Nick Daffy was the target. But over. Gavin Brown still roaring to his charges. 8 kicks, 4 marks, 4 hand passes to the Collingwood skipper. Bullis and Shawbull. Bullis wins it, pokes it out the back. Oh, Daffy. That quick kick was very, very skillful. Here's an opportunity for the youngster again. Trent Nichols has kicked his second with only seconds remaining in this half.
And Nick Daffy really is the opportunist. Just watch the way, as we see here a moment on replay, the way that Nick Daffy gathers this ball. It's a good tap over the back. What's that? Terrific play then by Daffy. He's one player who knows that he doesn't possess a lot of speed. He's worked terribly hard on just getting the ball onto his boot as quickly as he can, just forcing it down the field, and Nichols reading the ball very well off the foot too.
Huge goal. Have a look at that time. 4 seconds remaining. Nichols with the late goal, and the Tigers are going to be buoyant as they go in. After Collingwood have made most of the running in the second quarter, Shane Watson carried from the ground. Nick Daffy's opportunist effort to Trent Nichols to kick 2, and the time